Here's something nobody wants to admit. 68% of men over 50 report that they're happier with fewer social connections than they had in their 30 seconds and 40 seconds. That's not antisocial. That's wisdom. Let me be clear about something right up front. I'm 54 years old, and nowadays I avoid people, not because I hate humanity, not because I'm bitter or broken, but because I finally figured out something that took me 5 decades to learn. My peace is worth more than anyone's presence. I know you felt this too. That exhaustion after spending time with certain people, that dread before family gatherings, that relief when plans get cancelled, that nagging feeling that you're spending your limited time and energy on people and situations that drain you instead of fuel you. Brother, that feeling isn't telling you something's wrong with you. It's telling you something's right. You're finally waking up to the reality that not all relationships deserve your time, and protecting your peace isn't selfish. It's survival. Society says, you need a strong social network. Isolation is unhealthy. Stay connected. Reality is, toxic connections destroy you faster than healthy solitude ever could. Here's the truth nobody tells you about getting older. The damage other people do to you isn't always obvious or sudden. Most of the time, it happens in small, repeated interactions, in energy vampires who disguise themselves as friends, in drama queens who mistake chaos for connection, in people who take and never give back. And unless you call these patterns out and cut them off, they'll eat away at the second half of your life until there's nothing left. So here's why I avoid people now, and why you should seriously consider doing the same. First, protecting my mental peace has become non-negotiable. At 54, peace of mind means everything. It's more important to protect than any other thing I can think of. My mental peace is my #1 priority at this age. I found that avoiding toxic people, toxic relationships, and overly negative people helps me maintain emotional stability. And brother, if you don't understand that yet, you will. Because there comes a point where you realize that mental peace is worth more than money, more than status, more than keeping up appearances for people who don't actually care about you anyway. According to the American Psychological Association, chronic stress from negative relationships increases cortisol levels by up to 47%, which directly contributes to heart disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, and accelerated aging. The people you're tolerating are literally killing you slowly. So why would you keep them in your life? Out of obligation? Out of guilt? Out of some outdated belief that you're supposed to maintain relationships that make you miserable? Second, my time has become my most valuable resource. As I've gotten older, I've put more emphasis and priority on the value of my time. I have a much clearer understanding nowadays that time is running out for me. I need to be more intentional with how I use my time, and sometimes avoiding people helps me do that. When you start seeing people your age dying every day, it makes you a stickler about your time and how you use it. It makes you try to be more intentional because time is precious. The older you get, the faster time goes, and I want to be intentional about it. Therefore, I avoid certain people and certain situations because I don't want to waste my time. If I'm going to spend my time, I prefer meaningful interactions as opposed to superficial bullshit times. Let me ask you something. How many hours per week do you spend with people who add absolutely nothing to your life? People who only call when they need something. People who drain your energy with constant negativity. People who never ask about you but expect you to listen to all their problems. Add up those hours. That's your life disappearing into a black hole of other people's dysfunction. Third, people are stressful, and stress destroys your health. Let's just be real about it. People can be a lot of stress on you, and that stress affects your physical health. Stressful relationships can negatively impact the way you feel in your physical body and can increase the potential risk of heart conditions, heart attacks, diabetes, high blood pressure, all these things that are triggered by stress. Research from Harvard Medical School found that men over 50 inches high-stress social relationships have a 29% higher risk of cardiovascular disease compared to men with low stress or minimal social connections. Sometimes avoiding negative people or negative situations that involve people can impact your health more than we even know. Your body keeps the score, brother. Every toxic interaction, every drama-filled conversation, every person who stresses you out is taking years off your life. Is that friendship worth dying early for? Is that family obligation worth a heart attack? Is maintaining appearances worth destroying your health? Fourth, I'm focused on personal growth, not social performance. At 54, I want to pursue new hobbies, get new information, new experiences. I want to involve myself in self-improvement activities. Yes, I meet new people in those activities, but at the end of the day, I really prefer solitude, or at least being around like-minded people. This isn't selfish or overly introverted. I strongly believe in helping and giving and doing what I can to provide value for others. But there's nothing wrong with shutting it down sometimes and spending time by yourself so you can focus on personal growth, getting better at something, learning something new. Society conditions us to believe that constant social interaction equals success and happiness. but that's bullshit times T. Some of us do our best thinking, our most creative work, our deepest personal development when we're alone, without people's opinions drowning out our own thoughts, without social pressure to conform to things that don't serve us. Fifth, I'm done with drama. At this age, I'm trying to avoid as much drama as humanly possible. Life has taught me that unnecessary drama or unnecessary conflicts with people is just not worth the emotional investment it requires. I'm not trying to get caught up in OPD, other people's drama. I don't want nothing to do with it. But drama queens and drama kings are out there, lurking, watching for when you drop your guard so they can pull you into their chaos. Here's what I've learned. Drama is a choice. Every single time. You don't have to engage. You don't have to respond. You don't have to fix other people's problems. You don't have to be everyone's therapist, mediator, or emotional support animal. You can just opt out. Walk away. Protect your peace. Sixth, being alone is actually productive and energizing. For me, alone time is very productive. I can get recharged when I'm alone. I can start to think and really begin to be introspective when I'm alone. When you're alone, you don't have to conform to anybody else's expectations or standards. You don't have to perform. You can just be yourself without judgment. According to research from the University of California, men who spend regular time in solitude report 34% lower stress levels and significantly higher life satisfaction compared to men who maintain constant social engagement. Being alone isn't lonely. Loneliness is being surrounded by people who don't actually see you, understand you, or value you. Solitude is choosing to spend time with the one person whose company should matter most, yourself. Seventh, relationships come with financial pressure. Some relationships come with financial pressures that you don't need. There are relationships where you feel like you have to perform a certain way financially in order to deal with certain people. Lending money to people. People asking to borrow money. Feeling obligated to spend money on vacations and activities your friends are doing because you want to fit in. These relationships put financial pressure on you. When you're alone, it's easier to have those financial boundaries. You're not spending money to impress people. You're not lending money to people who will never pay you back. You're not destroying your financial security to keep up with other people's lifestyles. 8. Social interactions drain your energy. Social interactions, especially with demanding people, can be exhausting because they sap your energy and drain you. You can feel it in your body, in your mind, mentally, emotionally. You can feel yourself being drained by somebody else. Avoiding people sometimes gives me the opportunity to conserve some energy for more meaningful activities, more productive activities. I limit my social interactions to protect my energy. Listen, as you get older, you have less energy. It's automatic. It's called biology. If you want to preserve that energy, sometimes you have to avoid some people. 9th, your social circle should shrink as you age. The older I get, the less friends, especially close friends, I have. And to be honest, the older I get, the less close friends I really want. Think about it. The friendships you formed early in life were usually based on proximity. You were around certain people growing up, going to school, and they automatically became your friends. Your work environment, your kids' activities. Usually it's about who you're around in your environment. But the older you get, your activities shrink, and your social circle of friends shrinks too. You change jobs. Your kids are grown and gone. Those natural built-in social circles begin to change. And you know what? I'm okay with that. Quality over quantity. Protecting my mental and physical health over maintaining superficial connections. So here's what you need to do if you're recognizing yourself in any of this. First, audit your relationships ruthlessly. Make a list of every person you spend regular time with. Then ask yourself 3 questions about each person. Do they add value to my life, or just take from it? Do I feel energized or drained after spending time with them? Would I genuinely miss this person if they disappeared tomorrow? If the answers are negative, it's time to start distancing yourself. You don't owe anyone your time, energy, or peace just because you've known them for years. Second, set boundaries and enforce them without guilt. Stop answering every call. Stop saying yes to every invitation. Stop explaining or justifying your choices to people who demand access to your life. No is a complete sentence. You don't need to provide reasons, excuses, or apologies for protecting your peace. Third, embrace solitude as a strength, not a weakness. Schedule regular alone time where you're not available to anyone. Turn off your phone. Don't check messages. Just exist in your own space, doing things that recharge you instead of drain you. The people who matter will understand. The people who don't understand don't matter. Fourth, invest your limited energy in relationships that are genuinely mutual. If you're always the one reaching out, stop. If you're always the one giving, stop. If you're always the one compromising, stop. Real relationships are reciprocal. Both people invest. Both people care. Both people show up. If it's one-sided, it's not a relationship worth keeping. Fifth, stop feeling guilty about protecting yourself. Society will tell you you're selfish for putting yourself first. Your family will guilt trip you. Your friends will call you distant. Let them. Your peace is worth more than their opinions. Here's the brutal truth that nobody wants to hear. Most of the relationships you're maintaining are based on obligation, guilt, or outdated loyalty to people who no longer add value to your life. You're carrying dead weight because you think you're supposed to, because you were raised to believe that good people sacrifice themselves for others, because you're afraid of being alone. But being alone isn't the same as being lonely, and protecting your peace isn't the same as being selfish. To every man over 50 reading this, you have permission to shrink your social circle. You have permission to cut off people who drain you. You have permission to prioritize your peace over other people's feelings. You've spent decades being what everyone else needed you to be. It's time to be who you actually are. And if that means avoiding people who don't respect your boundaries, your time, or your energy, then avoid them without guilt. The second half of your life should be about quality, not quantity. Depth, not breadth. Peace, not performance. Share this message with a brother who needs to hear it. Too many good men are suffering in silence, maintaining toxic relationships out of obligation, draining themselves dry for people who wouldn't do the same for them. They need to know it's okay to walk away. They need to know that protecting your peace isn't antisocial, it's wisdom. Welcome to the brotherhood of men who finally figured out that their peace is worth more than anyone's presence. We're out here living intentionally, protecting our energy, and refusing to apologize for it. Your time is limited. Your energy is finite. Your peace is priceless. Stop wasting them on people who don't deserve them. Drop a comment below if you can relate to any of this. Let's normalize men protecting their peace and walking away from relationships that no longer serve them.